everyone.
Hello.
Hi, how's everyone doing? I just recovered from a mental breakdown. I'm Nick.
I'm Alexis.
Welcome to Metal Waifu. Today, in honor of the month of Pride,
In honor? What the fuck?
well, I mean, obviously, because of the band we are going to be currently talking about is very known for their...
Totally.
Yeah, absolutely. For their LGBT plus choices. I'm trying to make a crappy joke. We're talking about Cannibal Corpse.
Hey.
Hey, we did it.
The setup is literally just here to be a setup.
Yeah, it's pretty.
It has nothing to do with our episodes.
I mean, it still fits the theme of like the month or whatever.
well, yes, I'm just saying. Like a lot of the times, my themes. Well, no, not a lot of the times. My themes don't fit the episodes. Never mind. I'm just talking on my ass.
Well, yeah.
Whatever.
Just aesthetic. It's fine. I'm sorry we couldn't find a leprechaun anime for St. Patrick's Day, but you know. Leprechaun anime. I'm the bit part of it.
Oh,
Give me a belt. But we're talking about Cannibal Corpse's new album that I keep on forgetting the name of.
Violence Unimagined.
Violence Unimagined. I keep wanting to say Evisceration Plague. I'm like, no, it's not Evisceration Plague,
No,
Nick. It's
no,
absolutely
it's
not
not.
that. It is Violence Unimagined. It came out like last
April.
month, April. So it came out a few months ago from underneath.
Metal Blade.
Is it Metal Blade? Okay, it's Metal Blade. Yeah, you're right. It's Metal Blade.
This is their 15th studio album.
15th. New York based, but Tampa roots.
Yep. Or what? Or is it currently? This is now based out of Tampa.
Well, yeah. So they started off in New York, but I believe they're mainly situated in Tampa because Tampa has somewhat of a death metal scene, kind of culminated from that and everything along those lines.
They started in 1988.
1988, years and years and years and years of death metal, gory goodness from Hammered Smash Face, Visualization Plays, like I just mentioned. This is a band that has a pedigree for writing dizzying riffs, aggressive blast beats, and some of the most borderline hilarious musical lyrics in metal history.
And caused the longest list of controversies.
100%. Mostly
So
from
many issues.
Mostly from the absolutely abhorrent, gory, vile, kind of a continuation from Berserk, cover art that you will see.
I really like this album's cover art.
It's very good. The lady with the teeth and all that stuff. It's gross and
Freaking Molina thing.
yeah, that's what we want. That's what we want. It's metal shit. Yeah. They've been doing this thing since '88, and they've been going on strong and everything like that. I think the closest comparison to them sticking with their guns and doing the same thing over and over again is a band that we have previously talked about. Which is Hatebreed. But we're in a little bit of a different realm when we're kind of talking about these guys, because while Hatebreed is in like the hardcore and it is definitely of that style, the problem with Hatebreed is that like their riffs and their writing and a lot of that stuff is going to get very stale. The thing that's exciting about Cannibal Corpse is that like it's death metal. The world's kind of your oyster. So like you basically can just they go all out in terms of some of the time signatures and the beats per minute and riffs and everything like that, to the point where sometimes you're wondering if they're still on time.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're just like
who's following who?
Where are we? And I do believe in a way that is intentional.
Oh yeah.
Aesthetically and for the music, because it is supposed to be dizzying and like God.
It's a lot.
It is a lot.
It's just like in your face immediately. I mean, it doesn't go away.
Yeah, and it is presented both in the music, in the art, in seeing their shows, especially with some of the people in their crowds. They're and of course it's a comparison though everyone will make to them, is they're very Slayer influenced, much like most death metal bands. Like if you're gonna talk about death metal bands, a lot of their lineage comes from Slayer and the ilk of that nature.
They say Metallica, Slayer, Dark Angel, Sodom, Creator, also Possessed, Autopsy, Morbid Angel.
Morbid Angel, yeah.
Yeah, people like that.
Yeah, around in that realm of music and everything along those lines. They definitely attract the they definitely attract the fucking Slayer kind of group of people they get real passionate about that stuff. And the band members themselves are
they have their controversies and publicity broken up into countries.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'd rather like internationally like banned in certain places or whatever.
Yep. This is a little cult band. Like they don't radio time is not a thing. Very, very finally.
Yeah. Well, no. So like,
it's been cool.
in our local area, I don't know if you ever listened to any of it when it was still on. But in Tampa, there's this radio station that is mostly the butt rock station of 98 Rock.
Oh yeah.
On a long time ago, and I used to listen to it all the time. At 12 o'clock on Saturdays, they had this program called The Pit.
Oh, yeah. I heard about it, but I don't think I ever...
The Pit was 12 o'clock. They played uncensored, like, heavy shit. And, of course, they played Cannibal Corpse. They played all that kind of stuff and everything. They played Black Dahlia Murder. I remember that was the one time... I don't know how in the hell they ended up getting on that, like, on that playlist or whatever they do or whatever. But there was a band I listened to, and I don't think anybody else has ever heard of them in their entire life. But they're, like, the most underground band I've listened to a bit is a band called Ghost Cube.
It sounds really familiar.
So they're with the only thing they.
I don't know if I just heard you talk about it before.
So well, maybe like 2 or 3 like they have like 2 or 3 albums, and I think they're like their big label thing was like they were with Sony BMG or whatever, and they're like, they're a metal band, but they have like. Really, like they mostly play like in like drop D or whatever, and like they have a song called "I Hold Grudges," and it's like, it's weird, man. I don't know. I listened to them once. They showed up once on 98 Rock, and then like I found them on YouTube and I started listening to them. Like, yo, you ever? I look for people like, hey, have you heard Ghost Cube? And I'm like, who? And I'm like, is this like Berenstain Bears? Like, is this something only in my reality? But, like, yeah, but Cannibal Corpse is well known enough to where, like, they have the controversies, they have the stories, and of course they have a rabid fan base and everything along those lines. Yeah. Much like a Hatebreed in the comparison. You're about to say something? Well, you're about to say something.
No, you're good.
Their members consist of, they did a lineup change, right?
Yeah. Because their fill-in guitar player is now the official one that was on this album, Eric. Who also was, like, everything for the album.
Yeah,
I think he was producer. I think he might have done some mixing, too.
Yeah, which kind of might explain...
Which they recorded it in St. Pete.
Oh, really? Where at? Did they say in St. Pete?
At Mana Recording.
Oh, okay.
Mana or Mana, I don't know.
They used to record at Morrisound, right? All the time.
I think so.
Yeah, before they got fucked over. It sucks.
Yeah.
Local big music studio, they ended up getting a bunch of stuff stolen out of their place, and they ended up having to shut down. And there were a big place too, like Ice Earth played over there, and I think Ozzy has recorded some stuff, and mostly known for like the death metal scene. And they ended up having to shut their doors because of the stuff they got stolen, because basically value, priceless shit.
Yeah.
But the members, there was an original lead singer for the band who I think was there for like maybe like the first few albums or whatever.
That was Bob. Or, no, Chris. Bob.
Chris.
Yeah. Chris Barnes. I was looking at something else.
Chris Barnes, yeah. But then it got immediately replaced by who I think is more famously associated with the band.
Mr. Corpse Grinder himself.
Corpse Grinder.
George Fisher.
Thick-necked himself. So I think he's in Ace Ventura when they show up in that film. He's the guy right there.
Yeah, because Jim Carrey saw their album cover and was like fascinated by it, and he's like, "I want them in this movie.
I want them in this movie." And they show up. Of course, they're playing in Florida, so like that it semi makes sense for why they would be there. But yeah, they show up in that famously and everything like that. It's Corpse Grinder. There's a bunch of other guys.
I mean, he was in 95.
Well, yeah.
So, because Chris was 88 to 95. I mean,
That's still a decent chunk, but like if we're gonna go off of lead singers for that band, like the lead singer of the band that people mostly know and mostly see, it's going to be that dude, especially when he does like the hair twirl or whatever, it's just like the fake neck or whatever. It's great. I love. It's just a windmill. He seems like a great guy too. Apparently, he goes by crane machines, picks up toys, and like delivers them to like Toys for Tots or St. Jude's or whatever. Like
I shared that on my Facebook.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. I was like, oh, it's so wholesome and everything like that. Guys who write.
This is the lead singer for Cannibal Corpse. They're like, oh,
yeah,
dear God.
Good for him.
It just goes to prove that like most people in metal are not actually violent people.
No.
Like so many freaking people want to paint it out to be.
Well, yeah, no, it's just a release thing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's mostly this is all created from. Sure, things that have probably happened to people and everything like that, but this is the culmination of all that. It's taking all that energy and putting it into a creative outlet.
That was actually you saying that was so this section on Wikipedia where they have the controversies and publicities actually says in response to accusations that his band's lyrics desensitize people to violence, Alex Webster, who's one of their founding members, the bass player. He argued death metal fans enjoy the music only because they know the violence depicted in its lyrics is not real. He said, I think people probably aren't that desensitized to it, including myself. Like, we sing about all this stuff and you watch a movie where it's not real and it's no big deal. But if you really saw someone get their brains bashed in right in front of you, I think it would have a pretty dramatic impact on a human being. You know what I mean?
he's like, yeah, man, it's just fucked up, like in real life, but we're not actually like, yeah, it's kind of fucked up, man. Yeah, jeez.
He said, we're not hanging people or whipping them in the street, and I think that's a positive improvement for any society, in my opinion. He's not wrong.
He's not lying.
We used to do that.
Guillotine, yeet.
The whole freaking town would come to watch one person be killed. Jesus.
Yeah, man, that's your entertainment for the week.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, 100%. So yeah, storied history and all that kind of stuff. So leading into Violence Unimagined, we were kind of considering like what we were doing for our next episode, for our next like metal review one or whatever, and we were hearing like good things about this new album coming out, and we were kind of just sitting there just being like, do we want to review a Cannibal Corpse album? And like I wasn't sure with Alexis. Alexis was like, we review a Cannibal Corpse album. I'm like,
I don't give a damn.
Okay. All right, sure. We're doing a Cannibal Corpse album. This album is in certain ways is a little bit of a departure from their normal sound, being like death metal and everything like that. They actually kind of go more into a thrash metal lean, which is interesting, which probably makes more sense with the fact that their replacement guitarist, who's become like kind of like a full part of the member of the band, who's had a hand in it. I think he's been in other bands, hasn't he?
Yes, he's been in several.
Yeah.
This dude's like been all over the place. He was his first one. Wait, what happened here? Oh, yeah, he is the guitarist and lead vocalist of Hate Eternal. Now he's the lead guitarist of Cannibal Corpse. He's also spent time with Morbid Angel and Ripping Corpse.
Okay, so he's been
and
around.
He's the one who owns Mana Recording, by the way.
Oh,
yeah.
Okay, a local guy.
Yeah.
Jack
of all trades.
Okay, so that makes sense. So yeah, so like you get this like thrash metaling going into it and everything like that. And you start off with the first song. What's the name of it? I'm going to pull up the listing. Because it has
Murderous Rampage.
Murderous Rampage, yes.
And this also says who did the lyrics and who did the music in the band.
Oh, that's appropriate. So yeah, start off with Murderous Rampage, which I think as an album opener is very solid.
Yeah.
It starts off with that bam, 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 and it's like you kind of go into it and you realize it kind of gives you an idea of what kind of general sound they're going for and everything. It's a thrash metal kind of opener and all that kind of stuff. But then it gets into like the bridge where it does like the tremolo picking where it's like was it? You know what it kind of reminded me of? Back in like when we did oh God, what was the name of that album we did? Where it was the Mojo Mystery, the only Mojo Mystery we did.
What the hell's her name?
I don't know.
Hold on, I have it. I still have it saved in my Metal Waifu playlist thingy.
Yeah.
Wait. Here it is. Insane.
Oh, yeah, insane. Oh, it's insane. All right. We listened to what that riff kind of reminded me a little bit of one of the riffs on that album, except it was like actually played well. Like,
I mean, which is that was also their inspiration, was a lot of thrash metal stuff.
well, yeah.
One thing about with this album, the drummer Paul, when he talked about Eric joining the band, he said he's a great guy, great worker, great guitar player. He wrote some great songs, and it's been a challenge to play his stuff and fun to learn somebody else's take on what Cannibal Corpse would sound like in their eyes. Which, funny wording there, but yeah. So apparently Eric is bringing, which he's bounced between being kind of the primary on lyrics and primary on music in a lot of these songs. So I think he's been the big factor.
That makes sense. Yeah, because like for Murderous Rampage, I think it's pretty standard in terms of like Cannibal Corpse kind of lyricism and everything like that. It's very murder, kill, Murderous Rampage, all that jazz. Kill at will, lust for death. The attic filled with foul odors. Rising up from the basement, stale blood drained, bodies rotting. Once alive, now forgotten. Slaughtered for no fucking reason.
Man, I can't understand why people think this is about a serial killer.
I don't know. Many to be murdered, frantic, innocent victims silence, slicing at their throats was random. Brutal ways to die.
1,000 Ways to Die.
1,000 Ways to Die. that fucking show. Reminders of Spike TV existing.
They need to hurry up and get it on Netflix.
God, that show was medium. It was fine.
It was great, but it was the thing that made it so great was because that's actually how people died. Like, that's why that show was made, is these were weird ass ways people had actually died.
I remember watching the one where it was the dude ended up dying while taking a dump on the toilet because he pushed too hard.
Yep.
It's fucking
I'm
wild.
forever traumatized by the stripper one.
What happened to the stripper one?
So nothing happened when she was actually at work. So she goes to get ready for work, and she gets in the shower, and she needs to shave. Well, her razor was a little rusty. She's like, it's fine. Which, being a person at this time who had shaven with, like, just a little bit of rust on, like, the edge of the razor, not, like, in the middle. But she shaved and cut herself, got a bacterial infection that killed her. So I've been traumatized ever since.
That's
that and the acupuncture episode. I will never get acupuncture because of that.
Oh God.
But granted, it was pretty much their fault. I don't understand why you got to reach for your phone with this arm when it's on the table next to this arm. I don't understand. But anyways, I digress.
Yeah. Did anyone ever like look up if that's actually how like if people actually died in those ways and everything along those lines? Like,
that was supposed to be the premise of the show, is these were weird ways that people had actually died, and they just reenacted them.
Yeah, I don't know. Suspect. Necrogenic Resurrection was the second song's lyrics. Sacrificial victims, slaughtered en masse, thrown in the pit with his bones. Blood will see the rebirth, our Lord will rise, materialize. Undying evil, immortal sin, almighty killer, avenged, they will die, he will rise, reanimate through homicide. Get some good wordplay, some good lyricism and everything like that. It's this one's more or less like some semblance of cult and resurrection and all that kind of stuff and everything. I don't know necessarily if there's any whatchamacallit, underlying lyrics to it, but there's one or two songs that they kind of get a little more. They get a little more on topic with certain subject matters. Like I think condemnation, contagion. I think. Sorry, I don't know where. I think that's basically kind of just talking about COVID going on, upsurge of plagues, fear the unknown, impaired by pathiosis, afflicted by death and engagement in horror, sickness abound, terror defined, germophobic daymare. That's not nightmare, it's a daymare. Clusters of pain, grim outlook proclaimed, infected by illness, mutations now propagate syndromes of ailment, ordained confinement, sustained isolation, misophobic nightmare begins. Yeah, 100% about COVID. Mandatory quarantine enforced. There it is. Yeah, no, it's 100%.
That was all Eric, by the way, on that song.
Oh yeah, so like I think there's like kind of like two things that kind of came along with the lyrics and the music and everything like that. Is that one, it definitely took a little more of a thrash lean to it, and two, it definitely there were some certain songs that were getting a little more a little more on subject with certain other things. Because a lot of like Cannibal Corpse like lyrics and songs are basically just kind of general like murder or gross shit.
That was because of the old that was because of the old lead singer. Like, he loved horror movies, wasn't it? That was like a big part of it. So. I feel like I read that
somewhere
recently.
Yeah. But yeah, you get songs like...
Or somebody in the band was like a real horror movie lover.
Yeah, somewhere along those lines, which, I mean, that makes sense. But, like, you get some songs like Hammer Smash Faced or, you know...
Yeah.
I Come Blood.
Hey, you know...
Sometimes.
You know...
Sometimes you just... Sometimes you just come blood. So here's the thing about, like, the album, right? In terms of...
R.I.P.
R.I.P. I'm getting ripped tonight. R.I.P. this.
I have a really funny one of those TikToks. This girl had me howling, but...
Does he start off saying lyrics to I Come Blood?
No. No. That does not...
No,
oh, my God.
No. So here's the thing about the album, right? And, like, I think I guess I have to compare and contrast a little bit to kind of give you an understanding of, like, the differences between, like, a Hatebreed album being very samey and, like, a Cannibal Corpse album, between albums being kind of the same kind of stylistically. With Hatebreed, they're very much stuck in their lane of, like, hardcore riffs and what the stuff they can write and everything like that. Whereas, like, Cannibal Corpse, you have so much free reign of doing whatever you want. You can kind of just take riffs and go off and do crazy shit. You can take blast beats and go off and do crazy shit or whatever. And with a Cannibal Corpse album or a death metal album or something like that, you can there's at no point are you not entertained or engaged during it. At least in certain albums. Sometimes it gets a little noodly. Sometimes it gets a little like gaudy. I want to say gaudy. It's more indulgent. That's the word I'm looking for. It gets a little indulgent in what they're trying to do or whatever, at least musically. So between a lot of the songs and everything like that, listening to this album, at no point was I uninterested in terms of things that were going on. I'm like, holy shit, this is great. This is really good. The solo's awesome. This is all great and everything along those lines. As a cohesive piece, it blends together.
Mm-hmm.
It blends together, but in a way that I'm not at least like enjoying what I'm listening to.
Oh yeah.
So like when I'm bouncing between one song to another and everything like that, sometimes I'll get a little lost. Like, which song was that again? Like, oh, that's right, it was this song. And sometimes I get them mixed up or whatever. So like, kind of going through the different songs and everything like that. I think the only one that I like was listening to where it kind of threw me off, and I was kind of like, what the fuck, was Ritual Annihilation. And Ritual Annihilation was one of those songs where they really fucked with you on the timing and the beat, because you're like listening to it. I'm just like, what?
It's a little disorienting.
Who's where? What's going? Like I was listening to something. I'm going on a run. I'm like kind of running to a beat a little bit and everything. However much beat I can run to. As I'm running, I'm like kind of focusing, and then like it cuts to this like bridge or whatever. I'm just like. Fucking left foot, right foot, right. Hold on, let me stop. But it was the point where I was just kind of like, is this intentional or not? Is this one of those? Is this a Cannibal Corpse trying to fuck with you situation where they're like, hey, we're gonna do this real cool thing, or is it kind of off? And it was one of those first times I was just kind of like, I can't tell.
I feel like it probably is intentional.
Yeah.
If you look at the bigger picture of the entire album and then this one being kind of this, like, sore spot, it's probably just them fucking around.
They're just fucking with you. Just like everything else has been kind of smooth and kind of like in a steady pace or whatever. Then all of a sudden just fucking hit you with that.
It's also Eric that was all behind that one. So that might be a part of it too. Because Paul expressing that his stuff is difficult.
Well, yeah. That makes sense. I kind of like towards the end of the album as we're kind of getting through it. Like obviously everything's at a fast pace. It's going fast, you know. But then you get to songs to like over
torture.
I realized the wordplay on that. It's overture. It's over torture.
Over torture.
Over torture. You're fucking clever. It's good work. It's good work.
You're fucking smart.
You're fucking smart.
Yeah, and guess what? Again, that's an Eric song.
Are they all just Eric?
No, it's he is predominant on. So Condemnation is him, lyrics and music. Ritual Annihilation is him, lyrics and music, and then Over Torture is him for lyrics and music.
Okay, I just those
so it's all the ones that stuck out to you are all the ones that he's a part of, which is kind of the point of why they really kind of brought him on, was to give a different outlook
vibe to it. Yeah, which is probably something that they might need or whatever. Because because
15 albums in, you kind of need some new inspiration.
That's fair. That's fair. Once again, comparing him to
Yeah, I mean, Jesus, that's a lot.
Yeah, that's Jesus.
That's a lot of work.
That is a lot.
Because there's people who have been around for, like, it's very similar to. I think it's very similar to my feelings about Guar. Them being around for 30 years. I'm like, how do you keep going? Where does the inspiration come from? Like, granted, they can pull really from anything and make it into a friggin' slammer.
Yeah.
Like, it's just, to keep going that long, I mean, I can understand at some point you're like, we might need something to jazz this up.
I mean, you know what else drives people? Money.
Well, yes, of course that, yeah. I mean, if you got it, if you know that you're going to get it from what you're doing.
Well, I mean, for Guar, it's basically just like, why do people go see Guar shows? Because it's a time and a half. You know you're going to sit in the fucking...
Covered in blood.
Yeah, splash zone and fucking just get fucking doused in whatever food-colored mix they throw at you.
I had a friend that worked worked one of the shows, not the recent show that they did at the Ritz, but the one prior to that, I think is what the one he told me. And he said loadout was a nightmare.
Oh, I'm sure.
He's like, you couldn't even see the floor. It was just blood. It was like ankle deep in blood just everywhere. It was, I don't know how the Ritz cleaned that up.
Hoping you know what you probably did? Shock vax.
Probably,
Shock vax that shit just fucking...
Yeah, he was saying that he made like he made some of the like stagehands or like the younger guys just like, I need you to go pick up all that feeder cable out of that blood. Go get it. And they're like, what, really? And he's like, yeah, go get it.
Yeah, go get it. It's your job. It's your job. How much you getting paid? Yeah, that's right. That's right. I'm your boss? Yeah. Do that.
So.
You gotta go start swimming. Go swimming in the blood.
Swimming
in that sauce.
That's why stagehands all wear black, by the way.
Oh, yeah, because you get any semblance of anything on you, just like, whatever.
I mean, the main reason that you wear it is because then you blend in with anything that you're doing on the stage.
Oh, that part, too.
It's to keep you hidden, but also, in these cases, it's to hide the amount of fake blood you're coated in.
Coated in. It's doused in that shit.
Caked in it.
Yeah.
It's the only time I'll ever wear white is when I go to a Guar show.
Yeah, well, that's the point. The point. You bring a cheap, shitty T-shirt and fucking wear that shit up and just be like, hey, I got a tie-dye T-shirt now.
I really wanted to go I wanted to be in the Splash Zone when I watched them at Warped Tour, but I knew I was going to be hanging out afterwards. And well, no, I wasn't working that year. I just came and visited, and since I knew that I was going to be like chilling on people's buses afterwards, I was like, I don't have access to a shower.
You just make them you roll into their bus and just covered in blood and guts. Just like, wee, start rolling around like a paint roller.
Right. I mean, if it had been at like the Tampa venue, then I would have just drove home. But this was when it was still in St. Pete, and I was like, "There's no way I'm driving home to shower and then come all the way back for you guys." Like,
yeah, that's fair.
I'm just gonna stay here.
That's fair. Imagine still driving though, like even from Tampa, like fucking you sit down and you get up, you're like,
I know, saturated
in that shit. Do you have anything of note you wanted to say to the Cannibal Corpse album in terms of production and audio and everything? Because I'm assuming you might have a thing or two to say or whatever.
I mean, there's nothing like really crazy to say. Clearly, Eric's studio is very, very good. I know a couple of the other bands he's worked with, or like at least recorded out of there. I think he's got like two other people or two main people that work at that studio. I could be wrong. Because he's also worked on like Goat Whore's albums.
Oh,
yeah.
Cool.
So, yeah, I mean, clearly, and I was actually, I looked at their studio website and I looked at their list of gear and their consoles and stuff that he's using, and he's got some really awesome stuff, and he's got AMEC boards, which I was like, ooh, okay. I haven't worked on an AMEC since college, so I'm like, whoa. But, yeah, I mean, it's done really, really well. I mean, obviously, this studio is clearly mostly pumping out heavy metal. Like, he knows what he's doing. He knows how to capture the best sound. The kicks, or the double kicks, they're just beautiful.
Yeah.
I am literally, I say it every freaking time, like, I am a whore for a double kick. I don't get to work with them very often, and when I do, I get so excited about it because it's just one of my favorite things to just blast through the system, because it just... It's just such a good, like, whoever was like, you know what would make this better? If I had either two drums or one drum that has two beaters. However I can hit this twice as fast. I'm like, you're fucking genius. It adds the spice.
There's a spice in it.
But yeah. But,
Spice Lords.
The kicks are really great. The toms are super good. Because in metal, and especially something that's especially more thrash and very heavy metal, where you're getting a lot of that just blast beats in your face sort of stuff, everything kind of sits more in the mids and low mids. As far as even your snare will not sit as high. His snare's got a pretty good crack to it, but it's still deeper and darker, because the main thing when you're at a metal show is once those cymbals start to going, they are going, and that's all you're gonna freaking hear. So it is that you need to have everything else kind of sit underneath what your cymbals sound like, or else you're just gonna blend everything together, and it's gonna be an absolute nightmare to listen to. So that's done extremely well. Vocals are great. I saw, again, some of the mics that he's using. Granted, I don't know what he used for this album specifically, but he's got a great little closet. Yeah, guitars are obviously recorded great. I mean, he's a guitar player. He knows what he knows what the hell it needs to sound like.
Especially with some like the more crazier riffs and everything like that. Like the plus side was at least everything was pronounced and wasn't blending in. Like it was still the nice thing is that everything was tightly played. Like nothing at no point did I feel like things were getting any semblance of like sloppy.
Oh yeah, no. Everything was very, like, you can, I mean, granted, now again, these guys have been doing this for so damn long.
Well, yeah.
But also just, where was I gonna go with this? Oh shit.
Oh god. That's the train of thought.
Oh no. The train left the station. The train left the station, and I'm late to the boarding.
I'm late.
Damn it. Well, there it went.
There we go. There she be.
Yep.
There she go. Tokyo drifting right out of the...
What's sad is this is like the first day that I've actually felt awake in like months. Jesus. And of course it's the day that I can't remember anything. Like, look, I'm so awake. I finally got sleep. I can't remember shit.
Where am I? Who are you people?
Like, literally. Oh, I am Patrick.
I am Patrick Star. I am Patrick Star. This is my true form.
Who are you people?
Who are you people? Mayonnaise is an instrument. Welcome to Patrick Yoga.
Oh, dear Lord. I am that yoga video with the dude in the Grinch, or dude or chick, I don't even know, whoever's in the Grinch costume. in the yoga class.
Rips one.
Well, no, he screams.
Oh, is he screaming? I thought
he's like, and let everything out that you feel, or I don't even know. Well, you let it out slowly and just as the arms come down. That's great.
It's accurate. It's an accurate statement. Everything guitar wise is played tightly and solo wise is very good. Everyone especially because of some of those tempo changes and everything, you gotta keep everything on track, ready to go. Because if you just slip up ever so slightly, it gets messed up. And especially as old as these guys are for playing as long as they have, especially wearing on your joints and your hands and everything like that. You gotta keep that shit conditioned.
How old is Alex? Curious, since he's one of the founding members.
70. What?
51.
51.
Wow, look at that hair.
Oh, let me see.
The beautiful curly mane.
Oh yeah. There's one. I think the drummer's hair is a little sus.
Where is he? Paul. I cannot even begin to try and pronounce his last name.
What is it? Maskrowitz?
Sure.
Yeah, it's Jewish.
No, he's got curls too.
Is he?
It's kind of hard to see, but he got curls.
Oh, that has to be.
He just got a lot of forehead.
Yeah. Oh yeah. That was to say he has his at certain
forehead.
Yeah, he got mono with 5 head.
He's 52.
Yeah, they're old as shit. Old as shit.
Damn.
Well, not as old now.
Rob is 52. How old is George?
Fucking, they're about as old as Cannibal
George is 50.
They're about as old as Slayer, and Slayer just retired.
That's true.
Metallica's still quote unquote playing, but
Did you see? Was it Megadeth's recent announcement?
Oh my god! You know who that? I don't know if this was true or not, but did you hear about what was possible a bassist to replace him?
No.
Jason Newsted.
Really?
That's what somebody either that was true or somebody said that was a rumor or somebody mentioned it. And I was like,
oh, God.
Bro, imagine a world where Megadeth's bassist is Metallica's old bassist. I'm just like,
what simulation are we in?
What infinity loops have we picked up?
The youngest person in the band now is Eric. He's 49.
Eric's about to get his AARP card. They're all about to get an AARP card. Oh, cry me down, cracker. I remember when my dad was 50. That's nice. He's 69.
Nice.
Nice. About your 70s here. But I'm trying to. We're at the part of the episode now where.
Do we want to talk about their controversies because they're fun?
Oh yeah, let's bring out the controversies. Let's bring it up. We're getting to the point of the episode now where I'm just I want to try to talk more about the album, but at the same time it's
I was trying to think if there was I guess so. The only thing for me with this album, and this is just me with Cannibal Corpse in general, I don't have anything against them. I do really enjoy their stuff. They are not a common thing that I gravitate towards.
Oh no, I didn't see that.
Well, yeah, and just and this album reminded me why. Because I'm just playing it song after song after song, and I'm like, this is a lot. Granted, I'm listening to it at 10:30 in the morning. But even on my way back home, which was now at 12:30, it's just a lot. And I can listen to it and imagine myself at the show, imagine myself just getting drunk and losing my mind in a pit. But man, and there's a lot, and I listen to metal on the daily, but if one of their songs comes up in the shuffle, that's fine. But if I start getting back to back Cannibal Corpse, I'm like, oh no,
yeah,
this is a lot.
I'm
just so much symbol. I'm like,
I'm weird when it comes to my metal listening. I'll do normal things normally calming things or whatever, and I'll have shit like that blasting just kind of I'm doing some paper or doing some other things and just fucking
it's me sewing and just
yeah no, that's just it. For me it's I can my Pandora shuffle is a nightmare because it's a mix of shit like that, Southern rap,
bro country.
No, get out of here. Instrumental jazz. like John Coltrane, all that kind of stuff and everything.
Don't worry, I have like Tchaikovsky in my freaking playlist. Because I was a band nerd. I freaking love classical music, man.
Oh yeah, no, I
Mozart just in the middle.
My mom tried to have us during like some of our homeschool sessions or whatever. She would play like classical music. Like, well, yeah, I found out. I heard that if you play classical music while you're studying, it gauges your brain or something. It just made me want to go take a nap. But I like instrumental jazz because I like the variation of it, which is noir jazz, which is like that sizzly snare, the slow bass, like kind of like the sad shit or whatever. I love that stuff. And so like my Pandora is that hot mess. So like I'll listen to, and sometimes I'll be in a mood where I'm like, I just want to listen to fucking just blast beat after just, whatever.
Yep.
But just not even doing like aggressive stuff. Like mostly I've been playing Magic the Gathering on the computer, and I'll listen to metal nonstop, just, making decisions, just playing a card, and just like, all right, I'm gonna make this play and fucking like, I'll eat your soul alive. I'm like, yeah, cool, it's great. Counterspell. Okay. So I understand.
I mean, I look like a damn old lady. I'm like over here sewing a bow for cosplay. Just like, and it's just like, like, what the fuck?
Yes, that's good. How are the children today? Yes, that's good. You used to say you swallow your soul. It's Cannibal Corpse. What the fuck you want?
I mean, literally, me as a grandmother.
Fucking bitch. Mama didn't raise you right, punk bitch. Trick ass Mark.
Jesus.
Controversies. You want to talk about the controversies that they had?
I loved this part of the. Well, I did not like. Well, because when I first opened it up and I was like, okay, United States, and I was like, this is really kind of weird. Why is the country? And then I scrolled down, and it was like Australia, oh Germany, oh Russia, oh. So let's start with the United States, because why not?
This is America.
So in May 1995, then U.S. Senator Bob Dole.
Bob Dole.
Bob Dole. Here we are. He accused Cannibal Corpse along with hip hop. You died.
Sorry. There's a Simpsons episode with Bob Dole.
I know.
Twirling towards freedom.
God damn.
Don't mind me. I voted for Kamos.
Stop it. Oh, God.
It's a great episode.
It is.
I'm sorry. Continue.
He accused Cannibal Corpse along with hip-hop acts, including the Ghetto Boys and Two Live Crew, of undermining the national character of the United States. A year later, the band came under fire again, this time as part of a campaign by conservative activist William Bennett, Senator Joe Lieberman, and then Senator Sam Nunn? I can't remember. I don't know. It's got two N's. I never know how to pronounce it. And National Congress of Black Women Chair C. Dolores Tucker to get major record labels, including Time Warner, Sony, Thorn EMI, Polygram, and Bertelsmann to dump 20 recording groups responsible for the most offensive lyrics.
Oh, yeah. Was that the formation of the parental advisory, or was that well before that?
I actually don't know.
No.
There's actually, here's...
As I've said, I'm pretty sure in other episodes...
Oh my... Sorry, I went to the article that's based off of it, and it says May 31st, 1996 is when this was posted.
Oh, yeah.
I'm like, this is...
It's an archived article then.
I was about to say, like...
Did this exist?
I know, I was like, wait, when did the internet happen?
When did the internet happen?
Like, to the degree that you would have, like, online articles. I'm like, wait a minute.
There's websites that they'll take their old articles and post on,
Music conglomerates are putting money before the overall welfare of our children and the community, said Tucker, chairwoman of the National Political Congress of Black Women. These companies have the blood of our children on their hands. Wow. Damn. Holy Lord.
Good God.
That's a lot.
That's aggressive.
Tucker and Bennett, a co-director of Empower America, launched an anti-rap campaign last year that pressured Time Warner to dump Westwood-based Interscope Records, which now releases controversial music such as Death Row artists as by such death row artists as Tupac Shakur and The Dog Pound.
The Dog Pound.
Through alternative distribution channels, blah, 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 blah. Round 2 in the anti-rap war. Bennett encouraged Time Warner, Sony, Thorne, yeah, that was the whole thing I read.
No, we're reading more.
This is just funny because... So Tucker and Bennett played and distributed lyrics containing graphic depictions of violent and sexual acts, each from a musical act representing the 5 labels. Bennett said music by Wu-Tang Clan, Ghetto Boys, Tupac Shakur, Bone Thugs and Harmony,
Wu-Tang,
Old Dirty Bastard, and dozens of other artists contained offensive language. In addition to the rap acts, 2 heavy metal bands were cited, Cannibal Corpse and Lords of Acid.
Lords of Acid? That's cited on that one. What? I know. All the bands.
I know.
Cannibal Corpse I get, but Lords of Acid...
Okay, what is... Yeah, see, Hillary Rosen, president of the Recording Industry of America, said that all the albums singled out by Bennett are already stickered with a standard advisory notice that reads parental advisory explicit lyrics. So this had already existed.
Yeah, yeah.
That was a lot to just figure out that one
Yeah.
answer to that question.
Jesus Christ. Basically, yes, they have the greatest advertisement in music history on them right on the front. Okay?
Yeah, I know. You're just still letting your kids listen to it, even though
like
it blatantly says don't let your kids listen to it.
It's like buying an M-rated game. Like it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter.
And then the only other thing in the U.S. section is the whole Ace Ventura thing, where they performed an abridged version of Hammer Smash Face.
That was in controversies.
Well, it says controversy and publicity.
Oh, okay.
Australia, as of
good old Australia.
Yeah. As of October 23rd, 1996, the sale of any Cannibal Corpse audio recording then available was banned in Australia, and all copies of such have been removed from music shops. At the time, the Australian Recording Industry Association and the Australian Music Retailers Association were implementing a system for identifying potentially offensive records known as the Labeling Code of Practice. All 10 of Cannibal Corpse's albums, the live album Live Cannibalism, the box set 15-Year Killing Spree, and the EP Worm Infested, and the single Hammer Smash Face, that's a lot of... were re-released in Australia between 2006 and 2007, finally classified by ARIA, which is the Recording Industry Association, and allowed for sale in Australia. However, they are all restricted and only sold to those over 18 years of age. Some are sold in censored and uncensored editions, which denotes the change of cover art. Despite this, when displayed in some stores, even the uncensored editions are censored manually.
They get the screen of shame.
Yeah, it's just like a little insert.
Yeah. Like you go to like those FYEs like back in the day where like
they had the dirty magazines.
They had the covers, so it's just like had the boobies.
Yeah, you just see their head. You're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
After discussion of banning them from touring, Australian comedy act The Chaser did a lounge music version of their song Rancid Amputation on their show The Chaser's War on Everything, claiming that the music and not the lyrics was the problem by performing a lounge music version.
Wait a minute.
So he kept the same lyrics, but did like a lounge version and was like, you guys aren't mad about the lyrics, you're just mad about the music. Like he was trying to make some stupid point.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if that worked or not.
Probably not.
In Germany, all Cannibal Corpse albums up to and including Tomb of the Mutilated were banned upon release from being sold or displayed in Germany due to their graphic cover art and disturbing lyrics. The band was also forbidden to play any songs from those albums while touring in Germany, so why would you let them tour at all? And, this prohibition was not lifted until June 2006, and then in a 2004 interview, George Fisher attempted to recall what originally provoked the ban. It said, a woman saw someone wearing one of our shirts. I think she is a school teacher, and she just caused this big stink about it. So now we can't play anything from the first 3 records. And it really sucks because kids come up and they want us to play all the old songs, and we would, but they know the deal. We can't play Born in a Casket, but can play Dismembered and Molested. That's amazing. That is absolutely incredible.
That's so insane. That's so... People are idiots.
It's absolutely incredible.
That's bonkers.
So then there's Russia.
Russia?
Yeah. Six of the eight planned shows from the band's 2014 Russian tour were canceled after protests from local Orthodox activists. I didn't even know this. This is a month before the tour. Religious activist Dmitry Sorinov said Cannibal Corpse's music was punishable under Russian law because it incites religious division. He commented unfavorably on the lyrics, saying they promoted death, violence, and as well as various kinds of sexual perversion. The gig in Nizhny? Nope. Not
even gonna try. Some gig in Russia.
Yep. Was stopped halfway through the set after police conducted a search for drugs at the venue. The concert in St. Petersburg was canceled at the last minute because of unspecified technical reasons. Fans began rioting, and 18 of them were arrested. Band members stated that Russian authorities threatened to detain them if the band performed because they did not have the concert visa or the correct visas. Concert visas. Yeah. Wow. And then the rest of this is just responses to critics.
Yeah.
Wow.
Wow. Fresh.
Wait, what? George Fisher said that death metal is best understood as art and claims that far more violent art can be found at the Vatican. Oh, okay. I just saw Vatican and I was like, what?
What did they say? The Vatican was like, yo, man, imagine a rip by the Vatican coming up and just be like, yo, we fuck with Cannibal Corpse.
Right? They're like, yo, you want a concert outside?
Yeah, hell yeah.
Come on, bro. Great advertisement.
Imagine a world. Imagine
Good
a world.
Lord. I would 100% start screaming that we were in a simulation.
Dude,
no, this world is not real.
This is the Matrix.
Yeah.
This is the Matrix. Beep, bop, beep, bop.
Who took the wrong pill? Who cut the wrong wire? I don't know. Somebody did something wrong.
Yeah, fucking hit Control Alt Delete. Alt Tab. Alt Tab.
Alt Tab.
Alt Tab. Oh, God.
It says we don't, George said this, we don't sing about politics, we don't sing about religion, all our songs are short stories that, if anyone would so choose, they could convert it into a horror movie. Really, that's all it is. We like gruesome, scary movies, and we want lyrics to be like that. Yeah, it's about killing people, but it's not promoting it at all. Basically, these are fictional stories, and that's it. And anyone who gets upset about it is ridiculous.
Yeah, true. Yeah, it's about accurate, especially as ridiculous as their lyrics are. But I think like the last, yeah. Like, I think with this album though, there's a hint of that kind of stuff, like to the point where it's just like it's pretty obvious.
Oh yeah.
But like whatever, it's fine. It plays along to a fucking great beat and a great production. Like I don't fucking care. Let's fucking go.
I know. Let me get in the pit. Let's go.
Let's throw some chucks.
Exactly. Let's
throw some chucks.
Start running in a circle. Let's part ways and then crash into each other. Let's do them all.
Yep. Let's make out. What? No.
What? I'm just imagining like. Oh my god! I'm just imagining like, all right, you ready to do this, girl? And he just like clicks play and just.
Can you fuck the 200 BPM?
Oh god! Oh my god! Ah! Jesus
Christ! I was even that close.
Poor Mike. It's probably because I turned up your gain a little bit.
That's probably why. Yeah, I'm sorry. Sorry, Mike. Sorry, audience.
No, I'll
sorry,
somewhat
future,
fix it.
Sorry, future Alexis.
Yeah. It's only bad when I don't remember that happened, and then I get because I can see the physical spikes, and so I'll just immediately go to them and like listen to them to see. Because sometimes it's not even like it's just a spike from doing like that, but it's not painful to the ear. And then I'll find one where it's just I'm like, fuck.
You find a nick.
Yeah.
Yeah. You find a nick spike.
I think I've only done it. I think I've done it like twice. I blew out the mic, but
Oh yeah. Well, I've gotten the text message like, Nick, please don't laugh in the fucking mic. I'm sorry.
I think that one time that I did it, it was bad because I'd completely forgotten, and I was just sitting there because I was doing something. I had my headphones on, and I'm like listening to it because I'm trying to make sure that just like the overall audio is even, and I'm like doing something else, and it's just playing, and then just, I'm like, oh my god, oh my god. I literally was like,
immediately to phone.
Yep.
You fuck. Jesus Christ.
Oh god. Just under an hour right now.
That's, you know what?
I feel like a lot of our music ones are starting to do this.
Well, yeah, I think it's just because like, so like the last one we did with the Berserk and everything like that, it's 3 movies, right? And like a movie is however long or whatever, it's 3 movies. But there's so much content we can cover with anyway, especially explaining the story or whatever, we can fill that in. I think these albums, like just doing a singular album, there's so much we can talk about, and then like it usually just turns into talking about the band in general and all that stuff, which I'm fine with. I'm also okay with doing just like a general overview of like a band's work and everything along those lines.
No.
But like, obviously, if we're going back and doing another band, like the same said band's next album or whatever, we just talk about the album and be like, well, we already talked about a lot of these things, so like I don't know if there's no other content we're gonna do.
Yeah, that's true.
But at least I think for now it's like okay, and I'm okay with it being a little bit on the lighter end. But you know,
I mean, and to be fair, any of the review articles for this, like you could even tell that the person writing the article was like putting in the most flowery words that they could think to try and make their article longer. So it's like we've been listening to a lot of albums that even critics are like struggling to make enough content.
Oh yeah,
well, like, they're like, well, it's an album by them.
Just be okay with being like an Anthony Fantano and write like a 7 to 10 minute review and like be okay with it or whatever. But like we're doing this podcast, I guess, where it's like we stretch out the content by conversating and all that kind of stuff. So
conversing,
having combos. No, fucking everyone who writes an article, like they're reviewing albums or whatever, like I'm gonna be the next Hunter S. Thompson. I'm gonna fucking put in some fucking 20-point Scrabble words into my
20-point Scrabble words.
Fucking throw that shit in there. Fortuitous.
Everybody gave this a pretty decent review from what I saw too. Like some people do their ratings on a scale of 5. A lot of people do their ratings on a scale of 10. A lot of people were giving it like a 7 and between a 7 and 8. Some people were like at 8.3, which I'm like, okay,
yeah, who cares?
But
so
then,
that's just semantical.
Yeah, and then I think one scale of 5, it was a 3.8 out of 5. I'm like, okay,
just like I'm even fine with like a 0.5, like a half point or
I know,
whatever.
like a 0.8. I'm like,
yeah, bro, that's so.
You
like,
get your halves and that's it.
Yeah, get your halves, get your like. People like fucking IGN reviewers over here just fucking. This game was awful. I hated every minute of it. I want to blow my brains out. 10 out of 10. Well,
7.5.
7.5.
7.3.
7.3.
7.25.
7.2. Yeah. I keep on playing. As I've played it more or less, 6. I just finished the game.
10.
10.
That ending made everything better.
Yeah. Paycheck just hit the bank. 10.
Lady D made it a 10.
Made it a 10. Just from her mommy milkers.
Have you been seeing some of the mods that somebody did a full lingerie mod for her?
Hey, we're back on this. Y'all too fucking horny.
I know. Horny on the main.
You on main chat.
Woo.
Why do we have to keep on telling you this, old man? Stop being horny. Stop.
It's so bad. Like the mods have been, and they're really good. So I think somebody made a full naked mod for her too.
Horny and too much free time. I get it. We're in COVID, like we're towards the end of pandemic and everything like that. But
well, like what makes me mad is that they're done so well. I'm like, you guys clearly have really good skill. Stop using it for this. Like,
as
if you do, just at least keep it to yourself.
As society has progressed forward, many of the world's accomplishments and seeks for greatness and achievements have been purely fueled by a man's raging boner.
Yeah, well, and then that's the thing. Like, the people who are making those mods are making bank because they know people want that, and they're like, "I'm gonna jump on this first. I'm gonna make sure it's amazing and perfect and like seamless, and y'all are gonna pay $25 for it." Like,
Yep. Horny on main.
Yep.
Stop it.
It's aggressive.
God Christ almighty. Christ on a cracker. Just
Christ on a crutch.
Christ on a, like, I'm surprised we didn't get as aggressive of that conversation on Berserk, but we're covering everything else. Now we were able to talk about it. Y'all horny, man. Y'all Griffith.
Oh.
Y'all Griffith.
Damn.
Your boy leaves you, and you're just like, I don't know what to do with myself anymore. I guess I'm just gonna screw up the whole band of the Hawk. I guess I'm just gonna go have sex with the princess. This is what happens.
And then he just makes it worse.
And then you just
makes it worse.
And then technically you get a kingdom and cool demon powers, but that doesn't happen to you. You're gonna be that shriveled up man. You're gonna look like a Cannibal Corpse cover album.
Dear God.
You tofu fucking horny. That part. By the way, for those who listen to the audio, that's the fan again.
I'm not saying that for the people who aren't watching. If you're just listening to this audio-wise, this is a fan.
Somebody's like, yo, who took the fucking rip?
Yeah, it's a fan.
Somebody just dropped an A-bomb over there.
It's just a...
All right. For the love of God, we've continued. Go listen to the album. It's good. If you like Cannibal Corpse, if you like thrash metal, death metal, it is a solid album. It's around the 7 or so or a 3 or whatever scoring system that you people like to use and everything like that. We're very much on the recommend and the not recommend.
Yeah, because putting it on a scale is just way too much.
Yeah, it's so semantical. It's not even fucking funny.
Yeah, because I could do a terrible scale that would annoy all of you guys, but it would make total sense.
Letter?
Huh?
Letter scale?
Well, no, I'm just saying, like, I could make one of those stupid scales that has, like, multiple aspects to it, and that's how you come to your, like, number. It'll be like, these are all on a scale of 5, and then they all add together.
Oh, no, yeah, you do like an average, an average score. So,
it'd be like recording,
recording,
mixing, lyricism,
musicianship, lyricism,
composition.
Yeah, that, you know what? I would be less mad at that kind of scale, because at least at that point it's you're examining all the aspects of the album itself and truly getting like a cohesive general score.
But you're a fucking nerd. It's me. I'm the fucking nerd. Because I actually talk about those things.
Alexis, we're both the fucking nerds. Why the fuck are we doing this podcast if we're not both the fucking nerds?
It's true. It's fair.
Horny it's on fair. Main.
What?
I don't know. Non-sequiturs. We're just dragging on time at this point. I'm okay with going and letting this one go for now and just calling it a night and all that stuff. And so... No, I'm not gonna. That was.
I can't wait to edit that.
Oh God. I listened to it through my headphones and it was disgusting. Just mouth noises. Fuck that. I'm sorry.
ASMR in here. Do you want to hear the sounds of my throat?
I want to hear my throat noises. Next month we're talking about. We at least know what our anime episode's going to be.
I don't think we have a music one because all I have is upload episode 19. So we don't have anything yet.
Not yet, no. Yeah, we've gotten to our cutoff point from what we're going to do for the next little while. I will say this now because we already discussed about it and just kind of give you all a heads up. So July is Food Wars for the first part of July. Second part of July, we're still tentatively trying to figure out what we're going to do for a metal episode, which we'll see how it goes. There's not really anything coming out that I really want to talk about in terms of like a metal album.
I had a couple cool ideas that we could
explore. Yeah. We're not talking about the Gojira album because it's just a medium. We don't need to talk about that one.
Shit.
Yeah. It was fine. It's fine. It's like the Chant and Fortitude and Amazonia are like really, really bad. Like songs, but the rest of the album's like good Gojira stuff. You just need to stop experimenting. Experiment on the stuff you're good at experimenting with. Don't do weird tribal chants that are borderline insensitive. Anywho, it was a good intention. It's real medium. Anywho, but we'll figure out what we're doing for a metal album for that for July. But we're probably just for relaxation and everything, we're probably gonna take a little bit of a break in August. So just no uploads in August. Maybe an upload in August. Maybe an upload. I'll tease it. Just a little tease. Probably not another one in August. In actuality, because I don't think. I think
you have the YouTube account too. So.
I mean, right? But that maybe as a tease, maybe not. That's so loose and goosey. But yeah. So just as a heads up, if people start, I'll always tell y'all now, so that when you're asking like, "Where's the new episode?" I'm like, people get regular jobs. We'll take a breather from doing our little hobby podcast.
Yeah, I was about to say that's the thing to remember is this is the hobby, and I have too many, and they're all overwhelming me all at once. I mean, my hobbies aren't really overwhelming me. It's life is overwhelming me.
Yeah. Just same. So, all right, we'll see you in July. Get some burgers on the grill and talk about some food wars.
Yeah, Lord.
God,
dear Lord.
Oh God, we'll talk about that later.
Yeah,
we'll save that discussion for that episode.
Yep.
Love you guys. Appreciate y'all. You have a good one.
Thanks for watching.
Good night.
Or listening. Bye.
And good luck.